welcome to the Better Together podcast. I'm Justin.
And I'm Bree.
We're so glad to have you guys here with us today. Though I do feel like, just right out the gate, I have to put the bad news out there. Do you want to be the one to do it, or should I?
Just go for it.
We don't have iced coffee tonight. And it's a tragedy. It's both of those things. Because I normally like to do this with an iced coffee, but we didn't have enough milk.
Yep. We go through a lot of milk because of iced coffees.
Yeah.
Not because our kid. He's like, milk, whatever. But we really like iced coffee.
Yeah.
And we have it a lot. And our ice machine struggles to keep up.
Yeah, the ice machine hates us. But, I just enjoy it with the podcast. It makes wanting to do the podcast, that little bit better, that little bit more enjoyable. And now we don't have it, and it just feels wrong.
I'm sorry.
This podcast could be subpar. Simply because, and what's funny is we've not had an iced coffee with every episode of the podcast, but we've had it with the best episodes of the I'm just kidding. No, but because I can't have it at all, it's affecting me in this moment.
Yeah, it really does.
If I didn't know that I couldn't have it, it wouldn't bother me. We haven't had it every day this week, and I was fine. But when you say, "Oh, we don't have enough milk for iced coffee," then it's like, "Oh." Now I'm affected.
I really, really want iced coffee.
Yeah, I wish I could have iced coffee now, but no, we don't get to have it.
Nope.
It's pretty sad.
I'm sorry. There'll be iced coffee tomorrow, though.
Hopefully.
I'll go to the store.
The Lord willing, Lavery.
Lord willing, and the creek don't rise.
Why would you make plans? Well, the creek is going to rise here tomorrow because for the first time in 2 months, we're going to actually see the skies open and this magical elixir come down known as rain, and it's going to water all the dead stuff because everything's dead right now.
Yep. Everything's struggling real bad. But you know what that reminds me? There is still a deep fryer outside.
Yeah. That was your job. And I told you it was your job.
Yep.
Before we came in today.
Oh, well.
Okay, that sounds ridiculous. But anybody who ever used the deep fryer knows that it smells bad. And we rarely use the deep fryer. But when we do use it, now we've started to use it outside.
Yeah. So
that way the house doesn't smell like grease.
Yeah.
It's
just logical.
It's the same reason that I don't want to cook bacon in the house.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care to cook it in the oven.
Yeah.
But I hate making bacon on the stove for the simple fact that it stinks up the whole house after that.
Which really stinks, though, because bacon in our cast iron skillet is the best bacon you can eat.
I don't know. It is really good, but this bacon, because you've been making bacon for salads, and we buy the thicker cut bacon, and it has been so good to eat the cold bacon recently. The cold bacon that's that thick cut after we've ate dinner, and you're like, hey, I have this one extra piece of bacon. Do you want it? Yeah. I want that piece of bacon, and it's somehow really good, even though it's not hot anymore.
I mean, it's good, but the flavor when you cook it in the cast iron skillet is so much better. I just love it so much. But I really like the cast iron skillet for, everything.
I think that you get really into the cast iron. You think, oh, because it's cast iron, it's better. I think it's a mind thing for you.
It totally could be, but everything is better in the cast iron.
I don't notice it, but I'm sure.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah. And it's great because I've got the cast iron perfectly seasoned, so nothing sticks to it. It's amazing.
Yeah, and it's super easy to clean and stuff. So now I get it. The cast iron is great. I don't remember what I was going. I had something, and then you got
iced
into
coffees.
bacon. Well, yeah. Well, I realized that, but then you just you derailed me. The train is off the tracks.
Oh well, so let's just move on then.
Well, it's been an interesting week.
Yeah.
One thing that's been taking place this week we can't talk about yet. We can't talk about it until after Monday, which means that we can talk about it on the next episode of the podcast, as long as everything goes to plan. But that's probably the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Which we're going to really build the anticipation on that, considering of what else has been going on this week. But we finally have established a plan.
We have.
For all of the water damage in our house being fixed.
Yep. Woohoo!
Because I don't know how long it's been that we have had literally a
hole in the floor.
Yeah, but it's
it's been close to a month.
A 3x6 hole in the floor of our house. Right, it's on the other side of a door.
Yeah.
The whole half bathroom floor is gone. To just do a quick recap, We had water leak from our half bathroom underneath the toilet. The seal went bad. The water leaked. It never pooled on top of the floor, so we didn't know it was happening.
Until it was too late.
Yes, it was all running underneath the flooring of every room that it affected. Basically, it's affected 3 rooms in the hallway.
Yep.
And they're going to have to take down 2 walls.
Yep.
And pull out our shower. So we will have no bathrooms in this house.
Yep. 0.
And we'll have no floor in a large percentage of this house.
Yep.
There's good and bad to this. The good news is we're getting all new stuff.
Yeah.
To replace the other stuff, which is great. The bad news is that we are going to have to move out for 6 months. Or 6 months. That would be awful.
6 weeks?
For 6 weeks. Sorry. We're going to have to move out for 6 weeks.
Yes. And that has been an absolute nightmare trying to figure out where we're going.
It kind of feels like we're trying to find accommodations for 6 months with how difficult it's been.
Yeah. And the reason it's difficult, we have a dog.
We have a dog, and we're about to go into the holidays.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry you heard that. Wow.
No. So the dog and the holidays, it's been terrible. We've had a couple options that would have been great if we had not had a dog.
Yeah.
But we love animals. You know, if you don't know, we have cat, dog, bunnies, chickens, and quail.
Yes. We have a lot of animals. And honestly, we would probably have more animals.
Yeah.
Given more space and more time.
Totally.
Time has a big impact on that. But, so that's been an issue finding a house, but we finally found one that involves animals.
Yeah.
You can talk about that
it's
because
a horse
you're more
farm.
excited.
How exciting. And I already got permission from the owner to feed the horses carrots just at my leisure.
See, but what if we sneak them like a sugar cube?
I mean,
because horses will love you even more if you give them a sugar cube.
She said only 3 of the horses. I don't know how many horses there are, but only 3 of them like apples. So she suggested carrots.
Huh. So the way that this house is set up, I don't understand. Like I'm not going to be creeping on these people, but because in case you didn't know this, you can find out all the information you need to about how people have bought houses. I'm not going to be the weirdo that does that in this case because I just feel like it's not the right thing to do. But the way that the property looks, because I did find it on Google Maps and look at it through satellite view, it looks like their house is it has a completely different well, it actually is different. Paul, I was telling him about it, and I was telling him where it was because he's been in Lenore City for a long time. And he looked at it, and he was on Bing Maps. Well, Bing Maps are more updated than Google Maps are as far as the pictures, which is interesting because how is Microsoft ahead of Google? But anyway, and so like they actually have another driveway that cuts past that house because there's actually like a little they have like a little work of the horse area, and they even have the circle pin that doesn't show up on Google Maps. But that the house they live in is on one side with a different driveway and a different road even. It have a completely different address. And then the house that we're potentially going to be renting, if all this works out, we still have to hear back from the insurance company.
Yeah.
But
again, Lord willing,
is on a different road, and so what's in between the 2 houses, their backs face each other, and there's kind of like a U or an L shape, and then the pasture land for the horses is in between the 2 properties. And so from what I can gather, there's going to be a fence in the backyard you can walk up to where there will be horses on the other side of said fence.
And I am just beyond excited, and Oliver and I have already talked about this, and we already planned to spoil the horses. Also, I have made friends with the lady already, and I'm going to take her eggs.
Yeah. The interesting thing to me is that how everything works out, and I was praying about it this morning, because all this took place today.
Yes.
We found that house on this, because we've seen that property, but we didn't know exactly what it meant.
Yeah.
But we're finally getting like to the desperate point where we looked at it. But also, as our dates have been pushed further back, it's opened up more opportunities. And so that house became available for a certain date range that's going to be open soon. But our son thinks he's a cowboy.
Yes.
Got the hat, got the boots, got the rope.
Got spurs.
Not that we haven't helped this in a lot of ways.
We have encouraged it greatly.
Yeah, I'm not going to say we haven't encouraged his desires to be a cowboy, but he definitely thinks he's a cowboy.
Yes.
So it's just interesting.
Maybe we can make friends and she'll let him ride a horse.
Maybe.
I'll bring his helmet.
But, well, he'll probably need a bike or something to do with this house. But it looks like it's going to be a great time. the weird and the crazy thing is how this is going to line out.
Mm-hmm.
And you never would have imagined this in a million years. I wouldn't have even thought that it would line up this way when you do the math on the time period. But like we said, we need to be out of our house for 6 weeks.
Yep.
This house is available for 6 weeks.
Well, technically it's 5. But John said that the work can be done in 4, so.
Did you tell him it was 5 weeks?
Yeah.
Because we hadn't discussed it. I didn't look at what the dates were. Well, even then, I still wouldn't have thought it would line up like this. Like, I would have thought, like, just the date range. But basically, we would go into this house the Saturday after Thanksgiving, and we would come home the Saturday before Christmas.
The Christmas Eve.
Yeah, like, literally this Saturday, then Sunday is Christmas Eve.
Yep.
And then Monday is Christmas.
So technically we're going to be home for the holidays, but not for, the real holiday season.
Yeah. Hopefully, these people like do something cute with their horses for Christmas or something. I'm going to need some kind of Christmas cheer. This couldn't have happened at a worse time, considering that the only 2 holidays besides Easter, obviously. I now my joke isn't as funny. I've ruined it for myself. I was going to make the joke of like the only 2 holidays of the year that matter.
The largest holiday season of the year is greatly impacted.
Yeah. Now I feel bad about thinking that about Easter. Man, now I've messed myself up. But basically, it's crazy that we're going to mess, because I love Christmas.
Yes.
Christmas is the best.
Yes. We already have a Christmas tree up.
You wait
it's been
all
up for a
year.
while.
Well, part of that was because we thought, where are we going to be for Christmas? And we made the jokes, but we didn't realize it was going to get pushed to literally, I don't know what's going on with me.
To literally
right before Christmas. Like, we thought we'd be home at least like a week before Christmas.
Yeah, a week or 2
like
before, but it's not going to work out.
And my Christmas vacation, part of it's going to be spent in that other house, which is kind of crazy to think about.
Hopefully, like, they put up a tree or something. If not, we'll have to bring one of our 15.
Yeah, no, we're going to have to take a tree. I don't think they're going to put one up, but we'll definitely have to take a tree over there for that. But it can be a good relationship. I mean, this is somebody that's 10 minutes down the road from us. You can make a new friend, teach a Bible study, like the good kind of things can come out of this. But it does just stink a little bit like the Christmas thing. It's like Christmas is the best. Like, we have all the Christmas decorations, but you know what? It'll be a good way to focus on what really matters for the holiday. And I did think about that because, like, the importance of Thanksgiving and the importance of Christmas are not about, decorations and, like, little silly traditions. It's literally about giving thanks and then celebrating the birth of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
So, it's not about all the extra stuff that we put on it, and it's about coming together and having that family interaction, and it's not going to stop us from being able to do that.
No.
And in fact, this house is going to be better suited for it, because the other property you were looking at today that allowed us to take the dog with us was in Madisonville.
Yeah.
So, like, I was thinking about the real thing is, like, what are mom and dad going to do?
Yeah.
Like, how are we going to see them like we normally would, but we don't have to worry about that now.
Exactly.
Because we'll be basically in the same place. It'll be a shorter drive for them.
Yeah. It'll be so much better, honestly. And I have been drawn to that house throughout this process, and I kept bringing it up. And I was like, but again, we didn't really know how the property was laid out.
I should have looked at it closer. It's just when things say, like, because in my mind, who knows how the property's set up?
Yeah.
And so it said, like, charming French cottage on a horse farm, which for a lot of people that entices them. And that would entice me. Like, if we were going, like when we stayed in Pennsylvania, that kind of language would have probably interested me for a week.
Yeah.
But we're about to spend 6 weeks or 5 weeks, whatever. But we're about to spend 5 weeks somewhere.
Yep.
That's a little bit concerning.
Yeah.
Like,
you don't want to be in someone's backyard. You don't want to, like, feel like you're on a dude ranch type situation.
Yeah, or feel like you're going to have daily interact. Like, I definitely, like, I want to be better about having interactions with people and stuff like that. But
you also
for
want
6 weeks of being, like, with a new neighbor who's trying to give you a good experience, it's like, no, I just want to be a little bit separated. And you will be at this property. Like, if I'd looked at it sooner and saw the separation that you'll have, I would have had no worries and be like, this is fine.
Yeah.
And apparently people like it. I saw a review that said that this one family stayed there 4 times.
Wow.
4 times. I don't know what they're coming here to do.
Yeah, I don't know.
But they've stayed in that house 4 times. And they say it's great for our family, which is cool.
Yeah. I mean, it's decorated beautiful. Like, she's
It
done an
says-
amazing job.
It literally says in the listing title, like, tastefully decorated.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's pretty true.
Yeah. Like, she's done an absolutely amazing job, and she's been a joy to talk with so far. Like, this has all just been wonderful. Like I said, I've already made a new friend.
Yeah.
Like, we bonded over our different names and our love for animals. So,
Yeah. I don't think we should share a name on the podcast, but that was interesting. It's not a name that I've heard before. It's like a normal name.
but not.
Uh,
It's close to one.
okay. And this is not the person's actual name, but on Duck Dynasty, on the Duck Call Room podcast, you have Stone, Jay Stone. His wife's name is Ann or Anna, but they call her Nan. It's kind of that same situation with this person's name. Like, they just dropped a letter. Like, her real name, this is her real name.
Yeah.
But they just took a normal name and took one letter off
Yeah.
of it, is basically where they're at.
But super sweet. I'm super excited to stay there and hopefully build that relationship and maybe lead to the Bible study and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Be a witness. Be
Yeah.
a light in the dark.
That's what we're supposed to be doing, right?
Exactly.
So, but we talked about it being Christmas
Mm-hmm.
and all that kind of stuff. It made me think about, like, what is your favorite part of Christmas?
Giving presents.
That is a good time. Depending on how we do our bathrooms this year, that's probably not going to be a thing.
Yeah.
We really need to figure out what that's going to cost.
Yeah.
But
I need a true cost breakdown, and we may have to rethink some of the things because we talked about a pocket door. We might have to do like a barn door if it's cheaper. Like, look at the cost
yeah,
on different things
I
because
heard
we
that
don't
it
really
shouldn't
want
be
the
that
door.
much expensive, but I don't know. But yeah, we need to figure that out. We don't need to talk about that. We need to talk about happy stuff. Like, yeah, like giving presents is a good time.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed last year. And what's funny about our last year's Christmas is we were supposed to go kind of small, and I didn't because everything that I bought. So I bought you that journal, and the journal's really cool.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, well, but what could go with it? And you're like, oh, I'm like, this pen's really cool.
Yeah.
And then I just kept finding like little things that could bring the whole bundle together. And basically, besides the pen, like everything I bought for you was like small because I bought you the wallet because
Yeah.
you had like said you needed a wallet.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like the I can only think of the Disney version of the story, but basically where the guy has the pocket watch and his wife has something, I can't remember what it is.
And they sell the thing.
But they sell the thing they have to buy a part for the thing that the other sold.
Yeah.
And we didn't do that. But it's just like that. You pay attention to what somebody has and what they would like to have. And so you try to get them that thing.
Yeah. But then at the end of all that, you still went overboard.
Well, but then, because I bought you those lenses too.
Yes.
I'm really good at Christmas.
So good. It's a little
It depends
annoying.
it depends on what the definition of good at Christmas is. There's two different reasons that I'm really good at Christmas as far as I'm really good at giving gifts.
Yes.
Like I can get you what you wanted and what you wanted that you didn't know you wanted.
Exactly.
That's going to make you super happy.
Mm-hmm.
The other half of that, though, is I'm really bad at not spending a lot of money.
Yeah.
So if good at Christmas is being frugal, I'm not good at Christmas.
Yeah.
But if good at gifting, good at Christmas is giving really good presents, I've got that down.
Mm-hmm.
But I also am just like a really good online shopper.
Yeah. You
And
can
so-
find the deals.
Well, because I like the Slick Deals. I'm
Mhm.
willing to go on Slick Deals, and it's updated every day.
Mm-hmm.
I'm willing to go every day.
Yeah.
And see what they put on there. That's how I find things for Oliver, or how I found like the lenses that I bought you for the
Mhm.
cameras. It's like, how can I pass this up?
Yeah.
This is a great deal.
I'm really happy you didn't pass them up because I've been obsessed.
In case anyone's wondering,
I'm a photographer.
yes, but in case you want to know how to get good camera deals, Canon every year sells refurbished gear way cheaper than they should. And so I don't know what happens, why they do it, but you're buying it like refurbished, you're already buying it at, let's say, like 3/4 to half the price that it's worth. And then all of a sudden, Canon's like, I'll sell it to you for even half that price.
Mm-hmm.
To the point to where you could buy these things from Canon and sell them on eBay and make money.
Yeah.
We don't do that. I
No.
don't like to take advantage of the system that way, but we've gotten really amazing deals from doing that.
And it's been a true blessing, honestly.
Yeah, no,
Like-
it's been awesome.
You can't pass up a deal like that when it's especially something that I've been wanting because I had talked about these specific lenses. Well, one specific lens, and then you upgraded one of my other ones, partly out of selfish reasons, so you could take my old one. But
yeah,
it worked out really well because I finally was able to have this new lens, and
you'd wanted the 85 for a while. Now, obviously, it's not an L series lens, but it's amazing when you get because you've got the best you can buy before an L series and then the L series, and it jumps insane amount of numbers. The L series, if you've ever seen somebody with a Canon camera, it's got a red ring around the lens. That's an L series lens.
That costs a lot.
Yeah, it's a professional grade. It's a professional grade lens, and so it's very expensive compared to the other lenses. But so I bought you the best you could buy before you step into that category because the price gap is just incredible. And really, I don't think you're going to notice a difference. You might be able to get sometimes a lower f-stop and get more of a blurry background, but still it's not that big of a difference. It's not $1,000 difference in my opinion.
And a lot of times you're not even going down to that lower f-stop because it compromises the sharpness of your overall image and different things, because there's optimal f-stops, like where it makes everything just the prettiest. And I'm really happy with what I have. So
yeah.
I
didn't think you would say gifts. I don't know what I thought you would say, but I didn't think you'd say gift giving is your favorite.
I love it. I love watching people get excited. I'm not.
My favorite.
You have to tell me
but I've
specific things that you want.
My favorite one is I brought home a keyboard from work. And I just wanted to show you that it was the color combo that it was, because at the time you couldn't buy a silver Mac keyboard with black keys. That was special for Mac Pro servers or Mac Pro desktops. And at work we had gotten some of those in, but the people didn't need the keyboards because they're servers. And so we were able to keep the keyboards. And so I brought it just to show you, and I took it back to work. And I was like, this is such a cool keyboard. I really do want a Mac keyboard, but I don't want the number pad like this one has. I just want just the keyboard, so that way I can use it with the iPad and it'll be small.
Guess what I bought?
And so then Christmas, you bought me the black keyboard, which is fine, but with the number pad. And the first thing you said was, look, it has the number pad just like you wanted.
I tried.
She was like, I remember he said something about a number pad.
Yep.
I guess it's that he wanted it, so I'm going to buy it. Yep. And it's fine.
And so then there was the time that you actually sent me the link to the wrong item. Like you wanted a specific hat, but you sent me the wrong hat. So then I bought it. But so it wasn't my fault.
No, it's not technically your fault. That one was on me.
Yeah. I don't do the best. That's just 2 examples of many. And it's for him. Like I can buy other people great presents.
The iPad, that was a really good one. And I didn't see it coming.
Most of the time you guess what they are. So
that was probably the best one you'd ever done, because I had no idea. And that's the truth. Like I've lied to you before and told you I had no idea. But like I can infer really well what a present is. But that one I did not see coming. And so like there you go. See, you had that one.
I had one. Check.
I don't even... This sounds so bad, but I have no idea what you even got me for Christmas last year. Because the iPad was years ago.
Yeah, it was a couple years ago.
It would have been like... I
bought you gloves. And I got you and Oliver matching hats.
Oh, yeah.
I bought you the
Ring doorbell thing.
And the Ring doorbell. The picture
No
light.
offense, but it wasn't like the gloves I wanted. And the doorbell thing, I was happy to have more cameras around the house, even though we don't hardly use them. That's not your fault. That's my fault. And then I can't remember what else I was going to say.
You hate my picture light?
I like the picture light, and that was a surprise. And I thought it was cool, but I think I still won. I think I did better. On the stuff that I got you, I think was better than the stuff you got me. Which is not how you should play Christmas at all. But
that's how he plays Christmas.
Well, I just want to be as blown away as I make other people. That's the problem that I have.
I try really hard, but you have very expensive taste.
You're not wrong.
Not saying I don't, but I try
so you're saying
to stay within the budget.
So you're saying like we're not getting a Rodecaster for Christmas?
Yeah, not happening.
Darn it.
Sorry.
I really
Especially not with a new bathroom.
We probably would have been able to do it, but you're like, no, I'm not going to do pictures this year. When are you supposed to do the pictures for those people? You were supposed to have a Christmas shoot this week.
it's this weekend potentially, but she hasn't said anything. So
Yeah. I just realized.
Yeah. Unless she says anything, then
Do I need to text that? He really likes me. Maybe I should text him and try to get this thing going.
Yeah. Do that. Get us a little extra.
Yeah. Well, no, but I just, like, when you did them in the past, though, that was like a nice bonus
Yeah.
to Christmas stuff. And if we're not going to do them this year, it's like, oh, we're going to be at a horse farm. Like,
I know.
We
I
can't-
might have to.
We can't rent a horse?
I might have to.
I don't know. But it's funny. We've played the Christmas card game for a few years now. And one of the ones that we've done, the one that we had the most people do, was the one at the Christmas tree farm.
Yeah.
But what's funny is no matter when we've tried to do Christmas pictures, people have said it's either too early or it's too late.
Yeah.
Well, when's the magical time? First of all, the Christmas tree one, we couldn't set the date.
Yeah.
That was just whatever date the guy said, this is when we do when I open it up to photographers for basically this one day.
Yeah. He opens in August. He opens up October, and you get, it's like a free-for-all. You first come, first serve. You sign up for whatever weekend you want.
But it's only like Saturdays.
Yeah, it's
for
only
October.
Saturdays. Well, they might have done Sundays too,
They might
but
have done
Sundays is
Sundays.
not an option for us.
No, we're not going to do Sundays. But it's literally, you get 4 opportunities, basically, and like it's even the weekends, to do that.
Yeah.
And so, but it's only 1 month. But people were still like, oh, it's just blah, blah.
And it's in October, so I mean,
Whatever.
yeah, it's early, but come November, he has to cut the trees to sell them.
Yeah. Well, and then,
Like, this is the actual.
but then you get into November and people are like, oh, well, I don't have time to print them and send them out. And it's like, well, I don't know what you want.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. It is what it is.
Yeah. So far you've been a little rude.
Me?
Yeah, I asked you what your favorite thing about Christmas was. You haven't asked me yet. And just feel like
I'm
left
sorry.
out.
I thought it was also giving presents. What is your favorite part of the Christmas season?
It's gonna sound stupid.
Go
And
for it.
I honestly, I had this question for you leading into this, but I did not have an answer, and so I came up with the answer while you were talking about your thing.
Okay.
I think it's literally the vibes. And I know that sounds so dumb, and that's totally like the new kid thing that they just like, oh man, like we're back to the 70s about vibes or whatever. But literally, I don't know a better way to describe it. The feeling of Christmas,
The
ambiance, yeah. But I think that goes in with like feeling and the ambiance is the vibe, right? Like, and maybe I don't know what vibe means, but in my mind, that's what it means. It's literally the feeling of Christmas. That is better to me than actually Christmas.
Yeah.
Like I feel Christmas more and like get more excited about Christmas in July sometimes than in December. I just love the way when you can sit there and just think about what you really like about Christmas. Christmas is one of those things that you have the ability to like forget any bad stuff that has happened during the Christmas season and just be overjoyed with like all the good stuff that happens.
Yeah. And what's hilarious about this is our son has got that same joy for the Christmas season and all things Christmas. Like, he just has that. For 2 years straight, we've sang Jingle Bell Rocks constantly. Like, a month does not go by without it being sang.
I wish I could remember the line from Elf because he's like spreading Christmas cheer, but it's contagious.
Yeah.
When you're happy about the holidays, other people catch it. That's where I'm at. But it's just the best. You got the lights and the trees and fires, and it's that little bit of cold outside. You can like drive the car and it's cold outside, but you have the heat on. But then you get hot, so you crack the window. So then there's like that cold thing. And I don't know why, but like if it's cold outside and like the house feels normal, like you're just in normal clothes, and then you put your hand next to the window and it's a little bit cold. And I don't know why, but I'm like, oh, it feels nice. I don't know. It's just weird. But you get, and the music, there's no better music. Well, obviously praise and worship music is great. I feel like everything I'm going to say, people are able to take as like an arrow back at me.
Yeah.
But
that's with anything, ever.
Like, I love Christian music. I listen to it all the time. We don't listen to secular music, except what you could probably consider secular music at Christmas time.
Yeah.
But Christmas music is just so much fun because it's all old style music.
And it's all happy.
It's all happy. But
there's some sadder ones, but we skip that.
Even the sad ones, though, like a Blue Christmas is like, this is a pretty good song. But it all has these fun sounds and these fun vibes. But most all Christmas music has what I think is the best. It's all like big band. There's horns, like there's fun sounds. Then you get the jingle bells coming out. Like it's just awesome. I think my favorite part of Christmas is just the feeling you get from Christmas. It's also the best time of year that we have to share the faith, besides Easter.
Yeah.
Because Easter is a great time to share the faith. Like a lot of people come to church at Easter time. But people are so open to the gospel message and to the truth and to Jesus at Christmas. Like it's just a different thing, and people are so much more open to talk about that stuff than they are almost any other time of the year, even at Easter.
Yeah, and they're a lot more willing to go to church during this time.
Yeah.
So invitations are a lot more, they're accepted a lot more often and that kind of thing. So it does add extra joy to the season.
Yeah.
Season.
Because and Christmas doesn't have like the odder connotation. Like, because obviously Easter is a time of joy for Christians, but it's because of what we believe in it. But for a lot of people, Easter seems a little weird and morbid because obviously it is signifying when Jesus was crucified on the cross. And obviously we view it as he died and rose again and defeated hell, death, and the grave. He took the keys.
Now we get to join him in heaven one day.
Yeah, but people that aren't Christians don't see it that way, so it's a little more like odd to them. But Christmas is the joy, fun, happy time, and so it's a lot easier to get people in, So I just think that's a nice aspect of it.
And if you guys haven't gathered from all of our talk of Christmas and how much we love it and everything, Christmas tends to happen at least twice a year in our house because we do go through a period in the summer where it's like we just need Christmas. So we have a little mini Christmas.
Oh, I'll totally get on the Christmas in July bag. I'm not ashamed of that. I will 100% go Christmas in July.
Christmas sweaters come out. We turn on Christmas movies. It's great.
Did actually, I put him in Christmas. I did put a t-shirt on just to mess with you. Sometimes it's just it's fun for me just to mess and try to get a reaction. It doesn't work anymore.
Nope.
But I definitely give it effort. I want the reaction.
A for effort. But it's a blast. Like, we enjoy it so much. And then along with the holidays and stuff, we have Thanksgiving dinner, which is technically Christmas dinner as well because you cook pretty much the same things during all that.
Maybe a little more focus on the ham than the turkey.
Yeah.
But
we do those a couple times a year as well.
This is so random. But Nathan was telling me at work that brisket prices have gone down.
Ooh.
To where you can get a brisket for like $50-$60. And so maybe we have a Christmas brisket. And a ham, but like no turkey. We'll do the turkey for Thanksgiving. We're actually doing a turkey like Saturday, which is just weird.
2 weeks from Thanksgiving. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and have a turkey.
What we need to do is figure out the best way to make the Christmas turkey, the Thanksgiving turkey. So we need to go ahead and
we got to have a test run.
Yeah, we got to figure out the system, make the best one that we can. Why not?
We have our recipe down. We do a really good turky.
Yeah. Well, we've only done that once.
We do a really good anything on the smoke grill.
Yeah, well, anybody can. We talked about that last week, though. Or not last week, but a couple weeks ago. We talked about that for sure. The smoker is the best. If you haven't got one, get one.
Yep. It's really easy. Find you a nice seasoning that you like, and then toss it on the grill. Perfect.
But no, Christmas food, Christmas holiday food this time of year, that kind of food is the best. You can't go wrong.
Yep. And then all the mashed potatoes and gravy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what we're really in this for, is you have to cook the turkey to get the drippings to make the gravy.
Yep.
Because we've recently learned within the last couple of years that pat gravy you have a hierarchy of gravy. That's what I want to get into for a second, because you have the jar gravy and it's horrible. Like, you might as well just eat mashed potatoes with no gravy because that gravy has a weird taste to it. But then you get the Pioneer gravy. I don't know if this is like a national thing or not.
Yep.
I hope it is for your sake. But you buy Pioneer gravy. It comes in a little pack. You put it in the pan, put water in it, heat it up, whatever. I think you boil the water and then pour it in. But the pack tells you how to do it. But it's Pioneer brand gravy. Delicious. So it's like jar. Don't even rank it. Then the pack. That's the pack you should buy. I'm sure there's other packs, but that pack I've found to be the best. But then...
Just for a second, he loves that brand of gravy so much before we started doing it from scratch, that one year I bought him like 20 packets of that for Christmas.
Yeah, that was funny.
So,
but then we found that you make the meat, so like a roast or a turkey or whatever, and you save those drippings and you make the gravy from the drippings. Game changer.
Absolute game changer.
You talk about flavor? That is flavor. Because I think the other, I don't know what they do for the jar stuff. I'm not even going to get that. But the packet, you know how the packet works is they're just taking basically those drippings and dehydrating them. And so you still are going to lose some of that flavor.
Yep.
And so you do it from the scratch, from the drippings themselves, and you're getting all the flavor. It's amazing.
It's the best, truly. Like, I don't always like the process of going through and making everything from scratch, but that's one thing it is 1,000% worth doing.
Yeah.
Because the taste is just phenomenal.
And I want to be very clear. I grew up in a house where a lot of stuff was like from jars and boxes, and like my mom did my mom didn't even do the packed gravy. She literally did the jar because it was easier. Okay, cooking is not hard.
No.
But it is work.
Yes.
But our world today thinks that work equals hard.
Yeah.
But that's not the case.
No.
Just because it's work doesn't mean it's difficult to do. It just means you have to put a little bit of effort in to get the results you want, and the results are going to be better. A Hungry Man TV dinner is never going to compare to if you just made even a can of corn, you know? But I'm saying all this to say that if you just follow a recipe, people talk about like, oh, I'm just not a good cook. I burn everything, blah, blah. It tells you what temperature to turn the thing to and how to watch it. You can't burn the food. I have a tendency if I'm cooking without a recipe, I can burn some stuff because I want to just turn it to max and cook. But that's not what you do.
No.
But if you just follow a recipe, anybody can do this. It's not that hard, but you just have to set the temperature to what it tells you to set it in the recipe, and boom, bam, you got it. If you can change the setting on the microwave to medium high, and then cook it for however long, then you can set the oven to bake a turkey and then save the gravy and put it on the stovetop and make gravy. It's easy.
Yeah. The thing about cooking stuff from scratch, or even just doing more stuff from scratch rather than going from a box and stuff like that, it takes time.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It takes work and effort and time.
So you just have to block out the time for that and maybe make some stuff ahead, blah, 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 and freeze it and then heat it up.
Yeah.
But
if you really want to learn how to cook HelloFresh, and like, we have no affiliation, but we have used HelloFresh in the past. It's not what really taught us to cook. We know people.
Yeah.
Like my cousin, my understanding is that's how they've learned how to cook, is they were doing that, and now they've just learned
saved
those recipes and have figured out how just to go get recipes online and do the same thing. But they send you exactly what you need, very detailed things, and you can learn how to cook certain things that are really good.
Yeah.
And super easy. But cooking from scratch is the best. I want to go back to the holidays thing because I just want to reinforce something I'm not sure we said or not. But it's weird to think that we're technically going to be home for the holiday itself, but not what we would consider the holidays.
Yeah.
Because it's all that time in between.
Yeah, leading up to it. And like at our household, we never make it to Christmas to opening presents. Yeah. We open like the middle of December.
Well,
in our
normally,
house.
The reason that we mess that all up is because I take a long period of time off for vacation. And we're like, well, you do have a little bit of like, I might have a week. Well, this year is going to be like almost 2 weeks after Christmas. But the weird part about it is that we're like, why don't we just open all the presents early
and then enjoy them the whole time you're off work?
That just sounds like a lot more fun.
And then it also takes the stress off of us when we have to go to the different families' houses.
Yeah, that's true.
So it just opens that up a lot.
Yeah. No, that completely makes sense. Yeah. Well, I think we're about done, but I did find 2 interesting news stories because we weren't sure if we were going to have anything to talk about, but we do always have something to talk about.
Always.
We can ramble on about anything. But
do share.
If I can get my phone to unlock. So the first one's just silly, and I didn't even read the whole article. I'm going to pull you. But basically, a woman caught on her front porch camera a moose eating her Halloween pumpkin. And you hear that article and you're like, oh yeah, like a moose. But we think of like a female moose without like the big antlers. No, this dude's got like a 4-foot spread of antlers, and he just barely fits in there. And he's got a whole pumpkin. I don't think I understand how big a moose is.
Yeah. You don't really until you go into the Texas Roadhouse and they have one mounted right above
Oh,
the
that's
entryway.
lovely. Well, my thought oh my goodness, the moose wasn't the only wild animal to turn porch pirate in recent days. Oh no, okay.
Okay.
I thought a bear walked up to a home in Florida and stole a bag of Taco Bell. I told you I hadn't read this, but that is one way to know how big a moose is if you see it at Texas Roadhouse. But another way is when it has a whole pumpkin in its mouth. Like that's a big animal.
Yeah. To just pick up a pumpkin like that, because that looked like a normal sized pumpkin.
It looked like a
on
normal
their
sized pumpkin. Yeah. I mean, like looking at the porch, that's just a big mammal.
Yeah.
It says that it's the largest member of the deer family.
Oh.
I mean, they look kind of like deer, but I would not have said like, oh, a moose is related to a deer. Wouldn't have got that. But they can be up to 7 feet tall.
Wow. That's from foot to the top of their head?
Yeah. I mean, well, they have a hump on their back, so maybe it's talking about that too. Because like a horse would be rated to the shoulder, not the head.
Yeah.
I don't know. But a male can weigh 1,600 pounds.
Whew.
That's a big animal.
Yeah.
Speaking of big animals, my other story,
Mm-hmm.
this is just one that I find interesting for various reasons that you'll catch in a second if it loads. Either way, a man recently, like I didn't see what the date on it was, but just recently they had fall colors behind him, caught an 11-pound largemouth bass.
What?
On Watts Bar.
What?
So literally out of our front door, well, I guess our back door.
Why haven't we been fishing?
I don't know. Here's the thing about that is, the article went away. That's a pain. This is not the time of year that bass are at their biggest.
Yeah.
So that fish could have weighed potentially, and they didn't say this in the article because I looked just so that somebody could, give me the right answer. But basically, that fish in my mind in the spawn, because the biggest fish are females, I'm going to assume that's a female bass. They're going to bulk up. They're going to need a lot of food, and they're also going to have a full, thing of eggs.
Yeah.
That fish could weigh 15 pounds.
What?
Yeah, they could gain that much weight
gosh.
just from pre-eating before the spawn because they eat a ton. It's kind of like a bear in hibernation situation. Is they're going to eat a ton because they're going to go lay those eggs on the nest.
Yeah.
And then they're going to fan that nest with their tail the whole time. And so they're not going to go eat anymore. The only way that you would get them off the bed is if something comes in the area, they'll reaction hit it.
Yeah.
So that way they're trying to protect their spawn. But you got to think, that's a massive fish.
That's a big
That's a Florida or an Alabama fish.
Yeah.
In Tennessee.
What?
That is massive.
Did some bird carry it up here? Oh my
No,
gosh.
I don't know how it got in there.
Wow.
But the guy looked super stoked on it. I'm gonna have to find it at some point just to give you a picture.
Because like the biggest one that you've caught, it was nowhere near.
No, it was like 5 pounds.
Yeah, 5 pounds. So an 11-pound. Oh my gosh.
It's huge.
Honestly, y'all, my mind's just blown.
And the crazy thing is that I caught that fish and you could and its mouth was so big my fist fit in.
Yeah.
And now it was pre-spawn, or I mean it was post-spawn, and so it would have been probably getting close to like a 7, 8, because it's I think I say that one can go from 11 to 15 because it's already such a big fish.
Yeah.
So you take like a 4 to 5 pound bass, it could probably have been maybe 7 or 8 pounds when it was big. So that's a big fish. I wish I would have caught it before it spawned.
Yeah.
But no, like this thing
that's
is
nowhere.
massive.
Oh my word!
Yeah.
Guys, you have to go look this up.
Yeah, I just
that
searched.
Fish is bigger than my kid.
I just searched 11-pound bass Watts Bar, and it was the first thing that popped up.
Y'all. Oh
yeah.
my
There's even
goodness.
a biology professor who grew up on the lake, and he's like, "This is the biggest thing that I've ever seen." But see, they're stocking Florida strain largemouth.
See that's.
But that's since 2015. I don't feel like in that time frame you'd have time to grow an 11-pound bass. But I don't know.
Oh.
It's incredible either way.
So y'all go to Watts Bar and catch you some fish.
Come down here, and get you a big one. This guy was in Spring City, so it's not like
we gotta go fishing.
Well, I thought we were going to, but now we're going to be doing the horse house instead of a lake house. So
yeah, but we gotta go fish. I want a big fish.
that doesn't mean that all the fish in the lake are that big. But I just thought that was incredible.
Oh my goodness! Wow.
Yeah.
That's all I got. Wow.
That was huge.
That's a giant fish. That's as big as our kid.
I've caught a striped bass that was, bigger than that. And that's because it's a different species. And so, like, they do get big.
Yeah.
They call them rockfish around here. And I remember catching it, and I caught it on fairly light line for it and everything. But the crazy part was I remember it coming out of the water, like looking down, and I'm pulling this thing in, and it was like looking at a prehistoric beast coming out of the water. And that fish is supposed to be big like that. Like, it's not like, oh, I didn't catch a big one. I mean, there's huge ones that you see guys catch down there, and it seemed crazy. So the idea of, like, that is about as big as a largemouth bass can get. Like, I don't know what the record is, but it's not far off of that.
I'd say it's got to be pretty close to that. But it's making me really sad because all of our marriage, you keep talking about how you're going to help me catch a giant fish, and we're almost 7 years in, and it still hasn't happened.
Well, we've not gone fishing at all this year, except for when we were in Florida.
So
the Tennessee record's 15 pounds.
So, guys, that wasn't even close. That fish would have been bigger than that.
And that was in Chickamauga, and that's, like, that's a pretty big fish lake.
Oh, my goodness. All right, well.
The largest one was 22 pounds, 4 ounces. It doesn't say where.
Wow.
George Perry. He's had that record for... It doesn't make sense. He's saying 8 decades. That's a big fish, man.
Yeah, that's a large fish.
22-pound fish.
Oh.
All right, well, I think that's probably going to do it for this episode of the podcast.
Yeah, it's been fun, y'all.
Yeah, I look forward to next week's update. That's going to be a whole lot more about where life is going and heading, and excited things that are hopefully going to be taking place in the very near future. And it's going to be, to me, it's a bigger deal than the rest of this. I don't know where you're at.
Yeah.
Like bathrooms, there's this and that. But what this is like very important, impactful stuff.
Yes.
So I'm excited to get to talk about it next week, but I want it to be completely official.
Yes.
We're willing to talk about the potential horse farmhouse.
Yeah.
Even though it's not official yet, I don't think it's going to be a problem.
Shouldn't be.
We'll just keep believing God for that one. But the next thing, I just want to have it all fully finished and fully, fledged out before I talk about it in greater detail. But that's building the anticipation. We learned about that this week, the need to build anticipation. So I'm building that anticipation in you to come back next week and hear about where we're at and what we're doing. And
real quick, in order to build anticipation for us, please put in the comments your favorite thing about Christmas. We would love to hear that from you. So go ahead and put that in there, and we'll check in on those.
Yeah, definitely. And be sure to like and to comment and to subscribe.
And all those things.
Yeah, whatever platform you're on. Follow us on social media for daily encouragement in the Word of God. And until
then,
yeah,
we'll see you next week.
Yep.
God bless.
God bless.